Opa! Welcome everybody to Stavvy's World. 904-800-STAV. Call in, leave a voicemail, we'll solve all your problems. We got our boy Ahamed Weinberg on the couch.
Yerp.
What's up, dog?
What's up, man?
How we doing?
Great, I just took a shit.
Nice shit in my apartment.
Yeah.
But I respect that. He's a visitor from out of town. He's not someone who came straight from his apartment and then took a shit, Ian Finance, and then fucking wouldn't apologize for his absolute lapse in decorum. But we don't have to get into that right now. We don't have to get into that at all. We don't have to get into that right now. This is a man from Los Angeles who's, you know, he didn't have a friendly toilet to lay his cheeks on, but that's what we provided here. And then I had to make a really tough choice because I had to piss before the podcast, and I had to decide whether to follow your shit or Eldis's piss, and I chose piss, and boy was I wrong. Yes. Eldis's meaty, disgusting piss.
Well, I shitted about 40 minutes ago in there
that's
too.
What that was.
That was my second shit of the morning.
Did you say shitted?
Yeah.
That's like so Albanian, dude.
He said he shitted in there. You fucking idiot. You fucking troglodyte.
The past tense shitted.
I know.
That's the funniest word
That's so
possible.
stupid, dude. That's the dumbest thing you could possibly say. But that makes a lot of sense that you shit in there 40 minutes ago. Because honestly, you're all saying you're a vegetarian compared to how unhealthy Eldis is. I should have just followed your shit.
I'm a
honestly.
pescatarian, so there's a little of the fish scent coming out.
What did you have recently? Any fish? What was your last meal?
My last meal was pizza.
Pizza.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a visitor. I just go get pizza.
See, so pizza though, if you go hard enough on the dairy,
yeah, it can be bad.
that can be bad. You could have some tough shits, but a fat piss can still be really atrocious. I've pissed sometimes where I'm like, how does this smell this bad?
Yeah.
Where it smells like you're opening up a can of dog food. You know, where you're just, like that first puncture of a can of canned meat, and it's like, oh, that's what some of my
You're
piss
like,
is.
how old is this can?
Yeah. How old is it? How stale is this piss?
By
What
the
is
way,
in here?
your bidet thing, it's so nice.
Beautiful, isn't it?
You sit down and it's
warm.
It's warm.
But it's not another human's warmth. It's a robot's warmth.
And it starts, I don't know what it's doing, but as soon as you sit down, it starts making sounds.
I think it's calibrating for your asshole specifically.
it's like clear at the airport where it scans your eyeball.
You have to scan your ring so it knows each fold of your hole and it can clean in there just nice. No, we're not there yet, but soon.
It'll be, yeah, that's the future of toilets.
That's the only thing where I'm like, that doesn't scare me about the future. I will give up every civil liberty to have an incredibly clean asshole. Like, usually I'm weird. Like, with security and privacy shit, I feel like I behave the way my friends who think recycling is gonna do anything. You know what I mean? When you meet these friends, they're like, we have to recycle. It's like, it's all getting
It's
thrown
not
away.
working.
And that's how I'm about privacy, where I'm like, no, we can't buy that doorbell camera. They steal your data. It's like, everyone steals your fucking data.
Yeah.
But in my head, I'm like, I don't care. I have to, like, do something, right?
Yeah.
Having said that,
Yeah.
if I could biometrically scan my ass and give it to the fucking CIA to get the best, give it to like a private company even.
Imagine every toilet you sit on, it scans your asshole.
Scans your ass, cleans
it knows
it,
exactly what you
cleans
want.
it like a whistle. Oh, clean as a whistle when you get out there. It comes out fresh and dry. Great. So I'm so bidet, and I'm shocked that you're anti-bidet, Eldis.
Is that true?
I was pro bidet for the longest time. Then I got a UTI that I'm
Don't
pretty...
blame the bidet. Do not blame the bidet.
There was a lot going on. It was during
your
a tour
fat
heavy part
thighs.
of the year.
Yeah.
I am pretty I was especially unhealthy when this happened.
You also don't shower ever. You'll go legitimately 3 days without showering.
At this time, I was not showering that much. There's a lot of traveling, a lot of
traveling does not bail
shit.
you off, man. You're in a hotel with nothing to do for like 4 hours when we travel. There's plenty of opportunity to shower. You're in a room next to a shower.
Also, the bidet is gonna clean you. That's not.
He's
that's the opposite.
let me tell you how
I
he's
think-
thinking.
This guy's like, these showers are making me filthy.
He thinks the shit particles got into his dick. That's what he thinks.
Yes.
From a bidet?
I think so.
Your dick is too small for that to even be on the table.
No. I think the toilet I was on, the seat was like extra small for my big ass, so
That's
that was part of it.
That's way more the culprit than the bidet.
I think the bidet brand also didn't help. I've used other bidets with like much more precise like
Precision.
streams.
What was this? This was just a free for all. Like it's just spraying from every angle.
Yeah, he calls the bidet. He makes his wife hose his ass down. He makes his wife stand on the fire escape and hose his ass down while he spreads his cheeks over the bathroom, over the toilet.
But ever since this UTI,
That's you're blaming one subpar bidet. Don't you? I don't want to hear a bad word about my. I have.
look, the point is now I like.
I don't want to expose myself as part of the 1%, but that is not a cheap bidet, pal. I am actually. It's the one thing I'm embarrassed about how much it costs.
I've been scared to use any bidet since, and I just shower more instead now.
The part that
I guess
worries
that's a silver
me,
lining.
Yeah.
That bidet worries me because it has a remote control.
Yeah.
Which I'm a little worried about.
Yeah.
The cleanliness of the remote.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
But-
Because we're not thinking about that.
Here's the thing: you're not using your hands. You're not using your hands to wipe your ass.
That's true.
You come out there with clean hands. That's what the clean hands use the thing. And sure, you got to take one wipe to get some of the excess moisture out.
Not me.
Nice, love that.
Just leave it wet.
Yeah, get sopping, pre-lubed up with shit water. That is a good point. The bidet, that is a good point. But we we give it a Clorox wipe.
You clean the remote.
I'll clean the remote.
I bet the remote for the bidet is cleaner than your TV remote.
Yeah, that's probably
if
true.
you scanned it.
That's probably true. Because Eldest touches my TV remote. That's the big issue.
Oh, give me a break. This guy eats a meal, the remote is all greasy 5 minutes later.
It's not asshole fucking dirt. I didn't say anything about buffalo wing dirt.
Also, like remotes are like when men are alone watching TV, it's like the dirtiest we are.
That's
I feel
true.
Like you're
That's
scratching
true.
your dick.
Oh,
and
you're jerking off even? Who amongst us hasn't had a nice couch jerk? One left to their own devices. I know you have, Eldest. Ahamed, I don't know. Have you jerked off on the couch by yourself?
on my couch.
Yeah, on your couch.
Or your couch.
Yeah, you just got here.
But I've already jerked off on your couch. That would be an alternative. Like I show up and I'm like, hey man, I gotta jerk off real quick.
Yeah, hey man, is it cool if I jerk off really fast?
Yeah.
And I'm like, sure, man. I just got a new jerk chamber.
That's the future Kamala wants. By the way.
That's so true.
That's what I want to talk about today.
Thank you. I'm sorry. Thanks for getting
September
in.
11th.
Yeah. Well, it's probably September 20
It's
something.
September 30th,
It's
actually.
September 30th,
sorry,
yeah.
sorry.
You looked at the wrong calendar.
My bad. I actually don't have any tour dates coming up. I have nothing to promote. Sorry, I came on.
Oh man. So when did you start? How long have you been going veggie for?
My whole life.
Life.
My parents are vegetarians.
And your parent? I mean,
You met my dad.
I met your dad.
He loves you.
Great guy.
He's,
Big fan of your pops.
Your dad like ruined my day one time. Or my dad ruined my day one day because we went and saw
you came
a
to
show in North Philly in a basement.
Yep.
And he's always critical of my stand-up.
Yeah.
In the most like precise.
That's so interesting. I can't even fathom a world where my parents even understand stand-up comedy, let alone being, critical of it.
Right. Well, I mean, I live in LA and my parents are here, so when I visit and our time is short, I'm like, yeah,
Here,
come
Philly,
to my show.
Philly or New York?
Well, if I'm in New York, they usually come visit.
Gotcha, come visit. Yeah, but they're on the East Coast.
They're on the East Coast.
Yeah.
So my dad will come and see me do stand-up and we'll leave and he'll be like, the other comics seem to have like a plan when they like something
That's so funny.
hurts so
Yes,
deeply.
of course.
And I'm like, I'm just working on stuff. And he's like, don't you
Yeah.
feel bad for them that you're just like, don't you feel like you're, it's not respectful to just kind of
That's
like
so funny.
wing it. But yeah, we saw you and he was like, man, that guy's great.
In a fucking basement in North Philly.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I'll take it, Pops.
That was cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's so interesting to get. I can't imagine getting like fatherly disappointment in stand-up. It's the art form you go to get away from that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Where it's like I'm so far away from something my father could ever like critique. I mean, he also doesn't understand English that well. like that's part of it. Like he'll get a dick joke, you know what I mean? He'll get like a couple things will cut through, but there's plenty. I'll say if he came to see me, actually, I didn't watch his face when he was there, and my guess is my dad probably would understand with no hitch 45% of my act, and then the other part he's just like kind of along for the vibes kind of thing.
What's a bidet?
yeah. Who's Elon Musk?
Who's Elon?
Yeah, my dad has no idea the references. Probably he's just hanging with his boys at the coffee shop.
My dad was in LA for 2 weeks staying with me, so we really broed out.
That's interesting. Hell
it
yeah.
was really cool.
Do you have any siblings?
I have a sister. Yeah,
You have a sister.
Yeah, younger sister. She's in Philly. She's like a barber.
Cool.
She's a cool,
Yeah,
normal person.
Cool alt barber. She's got tats.
She's got tats. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, she's awesome. She like doesn't consider herself as Muslim or religious as me, and she's just living a normal life. And
so
she doesn't have the same
all the
like
hang-ups.
neuroses.
Well, your parents sort of doomed you to if you're a neurotic person, it's like there's so much going on with like because your dad was like I love the story of your dad is a Jew or born Jewish, converted to Islam, right?
Converted to Islam, but it's like Sufism. Do you know about that? It's like mystical.
Oh wow!
Cool, like hippie Muslim.
Yeah,
There's a lot of Jews who became Sufis.
That's interesting.
Because Jews are cool and Sufis are cool, and it
Yep.
all like the pipeline's pretty good.
Yeah,
you know. But this was in the 70s, and you know there are a
Boy,
lot.
did he not see how things were gonna go. Boy, did he not pick right. he's just smoking weed in a VW bug. He's like, I'm going to do something cool that's going to appear countercultural in the future and will have no other repercussions on how people view me.
I know, and now it's like
He literally thought he would be looked at like a guy who loves fish, and then now people are like he's fucking Muslim.
it was
like,
it was the Grateful Dead of the time.
Yeah, totally. I could absolutely see that being like if you're an extreme jam band guy who wants to take it one step further, you're like, I'm a Sufi Muslim. You know, like.
I mean, the sobriety of it was very appealing to him. He grew up in like a real hippie household, and he was doing like psychedelics at a young age. And
he grew up in a hippie household, or he was a hippie in like a rebellious way? Or
no, his mom was a hippie.
Wow.
Yeah, so he grew
Wow,
up
that's
in this
so
like.
interesting.
I mean, his parents split. Like my dad, my grandfather on my dad's side was not as much of a hippie as my grandmother.
Yeah,
he was
for a little unencumbered pussy on summer vacation. My man went to a couple fucking concerts, got blown a little bit. He was all right, I gotta get out of here. After a while, come on, man.
Well, okay, my grandmother wasn't a hippie when they were together. They're from Brooklyn.
I see.
And they were both just like Jews, and my grandmother got caught up in that world.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It wasn't like they met at a Grateful Dead.
I see.
But my grandmother did become.
But she had it in her.
She did.
She had it in her.
No, she started after the divorce. She moved to like Cambridge, outside of Boston, and then she became like a real hippie. Dated this guy Gandalf for a while. I'm not even kidding. I met this guy.
Dude, it's so interesting to think of like being from two generations of hippies and like you meeting your grandmother's boyfriend Gandalf.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I did meet him,
That's
and he
awesome.
looked like a wizard.
Fuck yes.
And he had a staff, and the staff was like covered in trash and stuff.
And they're in Cambridge.
Collected.
Isn't that where fucking Harvard is?
Yeah, but Cambridge was like big hippie.
Just
town.
college town type shit.
Yeah, that kind of shit.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So was Gandalf like your step grandfather?
No.
Or was that later in the mix?
I mean, they were together, and then my grandmother, my dad moved to Philly.
Gotcha.
There's a guru that he got like kind of involved with, and
cult. You mean? Like,
no. Like a traditional. If you know about Sufism, it's this
guru just means priest.
Well, it's more than that, He's like
right. It's definitely more than that. But you know what the fuck I'm saying? It's a priest. It's like their guy, right?
Well,
guru.
And no, in Islam, like an imam is a priest.
I see.
A sheikh, a guru. Guru's the wrong word. Guru has all these implications.
Yes.
The real word is sheikh.
I gotcha.
So it's not. Yeah, it's not like you know, in the 70s, there were a million gurus,
Right.
and people of this kind of ilk, but this guy's like a sheikh, which is a more traditional thing
Sure,
in
sure,
Islam.
sure.
Who's like, is just a very like learned, wise man.
So he's like a scholar that people would go to, but he doesn't like lead prayer sessions like a priest or an imam would. Is that what you're saying?
No, he wouldn't lead the prayers. No.
He's just like a bit like a religious scholar that people would go
Wise.
to for like advice and shit.
Yes.
Interesting. Almost like one-on-one sessions.
Yeah, but he would do it one-on-one, or, you know, there were people like groups that would, you know, be there and he would talk.
Maybe congregate. He would maybe give sermons about the religions, kind of like, I don't know, a fucking priest.
Okay, but closer in stature
Sure.
to a pope, I guess.
I see.
You know what I
a
mean?
bishop maybe, or
Yeah,
like
sure.
higher up. Okay,
Something
okay.
higher than a
Gotcha.
priest. Is what
Not
I'm
your
trying to
common
say.
priest.
I'm not trying.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to dodge something. I'm just like,
I know.
I'm just trying to explain it. You're like trying to trap me in a corner.
I know, it is the most semantic argument that we're not even disagreeing. I'm just like, come on, it's a fucking priest. It's like, that's what a fucking priest. He might be a better priest or whatever. But okay, whatever.
Yeah.
He's a little bit more than a priest, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, he just got into this kind of, this is very interesting too. So, were your grandparents together most of your dad's life, or was it like they
No,
got...
it was young when they
Gotcha.
split up.
But
Yeah.
he grew up in the hippie kind of zone.
Yeah.
And would grandpop just... Did he go second family without a...
He went second family. He moved to Maine.
Took a mulligan.
Became a Buddhist.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he was like, this fucking hippie shit's too much for me. I'm going to Maine to be a Buddhist?
Yeah.
What the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
He's like, I don't want to listen to this priest. I'm going to Maine.
Yeah.
Yeah, he built a Zen like dojo up there.
What the
and
fuck?
Got really into Buddhism.
And that's your dad's side. What's mom's side like? Because you're talking about your dad's side. It's like both grandparents are kind of strange. And
Yeah.
they were just like you said, Brooklyn Jews. Like they were first generation, second generation immigrants that just were like too much of this shit.
I don't know what generation. I know that my grandfather, my dad's side, worked in film. He was like a prop master.
Oh, cool. Interesting. That's fascinating.
Yeah, so I've got that in me.
Yeah.
He was cool, dude. He was a legit prop master and worked on like a bunch of famous movies.
Yeah.
And,
You probably made some racist props, huh? We're talking the 30s, 40s. He probably made some fucking hilarious stuff. And some good ones, too.
He also made soap float, in a couple commercials
That's cool.
and things like
That's
that.
cool. That's
I think he
cool.
worked on The Godfather. I think he
Whoa,
was...
that's sick.
I know he worked on Annie Hall.
That's awesome.
That's a big
maybe he
one.
did the cocaine maybe that was the powder. Maybe he brought powdered sugar for Woody Allen to sneeze cocaine.
Maybe he had to procure
Real
sugar.
cocaine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had to get real coke.
Yeah. That's pretty interesting,
He has
dude.
cool stories.
Yeah.
You should have him on the pod.
grandfather. Yeah, what's he up to? Can we zoom him in?
He's up there with his second wife just chilling.
Dude, I would legitimately love to have your grandfather on the podcast. I'm not
I
kidding.
want you to know my whole family,
Dude,
actually.
I
They're
would.
really obsessed with you.
I'm not kidding. I would love... Tell your grandfather he's got an open invite to this podcast.
Cut to like all of us at dinner, and they're like, "God, Stavvy's such a great comic." Ahamed just goes up there; he has no idea what the fuck he's doing.
Which, by the way, it's hilarious to have that criticism of you. And it's like the show your dad saw was like, I had just gotten back from Greece. I think I was in the middle of a breakup. I was definitely just doing bullshit.
Yeah.
I was definitely just crowd work,
It was
getting
better
through
than
it.
my bullshit.
Yeah. To think that I had a plan is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
But oh boy, I got some gigs coming up.
Me
Those are gonna be
too.
tough. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
I haven't written, but anyway, this is not a. We don't discuss This ain't Marin.
This ain't talking about the craft.
No, this is back to your weird grandparents, which are fascinating. It's super fascinating to me because, yeah, that's so much interesting divergence in like a pretty short amount of time. We're talking like because
Yeah.
up until then everyone, and it's so fascinating because you'd love to be able to go back a couple more generations and be like, were those people rebelling at all? You know what I mean? Because that's clearly in.
Yeah.
It seems like it's in your DNA almost to have it be for them. I mean, it must have been so hard to be. I mean, just being a prop master probably as a young man coming out of like a, I'm guessing, kind of traditional immigrant community. That's probably a weird.
I think
job.
he was always like an artist and wanted to be an artist.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And he is an artist. I mean, he's a great artist. But
Yeah.
the prop stuff was just like money.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
And it
yeah.
made it like, he could have a family and
Cool.
all that stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's some good prop stories.
And then what about your mom's side? Anything strange? Are they
Mom?
regular?
No.
No, they're not regular either.
Well, I mean, my mom's from Irish Catholic.
Wow.
She was one of 10 children.
Wow.
And my grandfather on that side was in the military.
Gotcha.
And he was in the Air Force. He was in like, what are they called? The Flying Tigers, like a pretty famous World War
Cool.
II.
That's awesome.
And
Planes in World War II.
yeah,
Damn,
his jacket, his flying jacket is in our closet. And the
so
inside lining is like a map of China.
Wow.
In case he went down, he would have like a map.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
So he was just doing like missions across in Asia basically.
I don't know like all the details of like his whole like service.
Look at World War II Flying Tigers, Eldest.
Yeah, let's
do a
see
little
what they
fucking
did.
producing.
Thanks, man. This guy's got the dirtiest asshole he's looking at.
3 fighter squadrons of around 30 aircraft each. The first American volunteer group of the Republic of China Air Force. Oh, so he was helping the Chinese? Interesting.
I don't know.
And then fucking recruited under President Franklin before Pearl Harbor. Their mission was to bomb Japan and defend the Republic of China. Interesting. That's pretty fucking cool. So was he in China, I guess?
I guess.
So you're pretty close to this part of the family.
I never met him,
Oh,
or maybe I
interesting.
did when I was really young. But yeah, my mom's older than my dad, so her parents died before her. Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't really know them very well.
Oh, okay. Your mom's older than your dad. Dude,
yeah,
nice.
12 years older.
Your dad's fucking cool, dude.
Dude, he's
Getting an older lady, being fucking like cool Muslim. Like he's on some weird shit. I love it, dude. He's breaking every societal norm.
Yeah, he did enough acid when he was a kid to just live a crazy life.
Yeah.
That now he's like, I don't know what I did.
Yeah.
You know,
Whatever. He had a good time though.
Yeah.
That's how people who live regular lives feel.
right?
You know what I
totally.
mean? Like everyone has that thought process.
Anyone after enough years of marriage is just like, fuck, what did I do? Like, how did I end up with all these responsibilities?
Yeah.
And like debt. Like,
I know.
all
You
of
just
it.
wake up and you're like, fuck, I have to make this many decisions every. Like I feel that way. I have no responsibilities.
Yeah, you're recording this in your house.
Yeah. How
is
did
your
this
job.
happen? Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Damn, and so they were just like, they were like, you're gonna be. And was your mom on any kind of mystical shit, or was she just like,
Yeah, that's how they met.
oh wow,
Yeah, my mom, one of 10 children, Irish Catholic, and then like I think was very religious, but did not like Catholicism. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, so
Yeah.
she was like, she was a hippie also, but in a much more like less druggy, like more into like health food and stuff like that.
How'd she feel about vaccines?
Not into them.
Yeah, I know. I love that aspect of the pandemic brought like hippies and fucking
And drummers.
and the drummers like
Yeah.
together from completely different angles. But to hippies like credit, they've been on it. They've been against that shit.
They've
forever.
been on it. Yeah. No, my mom has breast cancer, and she's been doing alternative treatments and stuff like that.
Oh fuck, dude.
So I
On
would,
her Steve Jobs shit.
yeah, like she's into that shit.
Yeah,
you know. And she was in LA for a long time, and we would go to this like cool like new age cancer treatment center in Irvine, and this was like Trump people.
Wow.
You know, who are anti-vax,
Wow.
anti-this, anti-that. And she's the first Muslim they've ever met
Interesting.
in their lives. I think she
yeah.
she completely changed their perspectives on Islam.
Yeah, well, that's who you want to send.
Yeah.
A Catholic lady, who switched up, who switched up late, like whose mom, like a blonde lady. What does she look like?
No, she wears a hijab.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
She's real. She's like real hardcore.
More than your dad, would you say?
Way more than my dad. My dad's a Jew.
Yeah.
Really, at his heart.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, absolutely.
So my mom's like a Catholic Muslim.
Right. You take Catholicism and apply it to.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, Catholics and Muslims are pretty similar.
Yeah, in their like strictness.
Yeah.
And then my dad's like this Jewy Muslim where it's
yeah.
you know, I don't even know about this shit.
Yeah. Your dad made this decision on acid, like to follow this shit.
Not on acid, but close enough.
Right after, in the aftershock
Yes.
of like maybe 6 years of heavy acid use.
Three. Something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, my mom.
I get it though.
My mom made it very sober.
Totally.
And she's like,
I do feel like the Catholic people who I know and the like Jewish people that I know, if like unless they're like Orthodox or something, Jews are that's one of the biggest selling points of Judaism.
Yeah.
Pretty chill.
Oh yeah.
Pretty no hell.
No hell.
No hell. They're like, oh, even the religious ones where they're like, you're not supposed to use electricity on Shabbos or whatever. They're like, all right, we'll just hire a guy to turn the TV on.
Right,
like it's like, come on, God doesn't fucking see through that little loophole. You hired a fucking Mexican guy to press start on your fucking DVR so you can watch Curb or whatever the fuck. Like
they hire a guy and then they're like, hey, can you order Postmates for us? There's like 1,000
There's
loopholes.
so many weird, hilarious loopholes. And you're not supposed to eat like meat and dairy, and then they came up with lox and dairy. It's like, okay, thank God, because it's delicious. But
even from the start,
you
there's
don't
a
think-
million. They're like, we'll just have 2 different plates.
yeah. So many. Even
We'll still do it.
Even the ones that follow the rules just find loopholes. Salute. But yes, that's very interesting. So wow, they just are like, all right. You want a white lady in a hijab to be like, yeah.
To be down there and be like, yeah, I don't like these vaxes either.
Yeah, and they're like,
Like, oh, wow. We didn't know a Muslim was
yeah.
also.
It could be so smart. As smart as us. Wow, that's fascinating. Damn.
Yeah.
Wow, and they're both vegetarian, huh?
Yeah, well, they're
Pesca.
their pastor.
Yeah. Oh wow, they go to him for counsel on his diet too. Definitely not a priest. Doesn't sound like. Sounds like some different type of guy.
Well, he was. I mean, the whole thing was like very communal, and like there was a lot of food being cooked for everyone and stuff like that. So he's from Sri Lanka.
Cool.
And he's like very into like the Hindu diet and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I grew up vegetarian.
From the jump, you don't remember a time where there was ever meat served at home or anything.
No, nowhere close. And we wouldn't eat at restaurants that served pork.
Wow.
Like if there was pork in the oven, we were like, no.
So you had to go to halal places or kosher places, right?
The funny part is, we were so like this type of thing that we had to like support Israel. Like we would go to like. We would literally go to this place called Shalom Pizza, where like everything's from Israel, and we were just like, it went so far in the opposite direction at some point.
Yeah. I mean, in Philly, is that because you were in Philly?
Philly, yeah.
Because I feel like here, this neighborhood in particular, there's like 100 halal.
I just passed the Gaza Deli.
Yeah.
Brand new.
No, dude,
there's a line of white people outside.
Yeah. Oh, believe me, there's some shit. This neighborhood, let's just say this neighborhood does not share the views of the mainstream media. We'll put it that way.
Which I love about.
I know, I love it.
Love about New York. After October 7th being in LA, it was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
This is Israel.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, truly, this neighborhood is like, some of the best. There's a ton of different Middle Eastern like cultures here, and like also the restaurants are out of control. But yeah, over there they call legit call it Little Egypt if you go that way, And there's some good food. No hog, brother.
Dude, I love it.
What was your favorite dish? What's like junk food as a little kid?
Oh my God, this is like embarrassing.
Please.
I'm like legitimately just a soy boy from the get.
Yeah.
So like, you know, I would eat all this Indian food and all these curries and stuff, and then I loved this Israeli pizza place.
Yeah.
But when I was a kid, I loved eating raw tofu.
Wow.
It was embarrassing even then.
Raw tofu.
Even when kids are just like, yeah, I eat shit.
Yeah.
They were like, ew. Dude.
I eat plain noodles with just butter.
Plain noodles? I used to eat plain noodles with ketchup.
Yeah.
I had a weird ketchup obsession.
Yeah.
And I would eat raw tofu with ketchup.
Interesting. That's so gross.
But I also loved, pizza. Shit like that.
Yeah.
But the embarrassing
I guess that's true, because I guess I'm thinking as a little kid, it's not like meat was that. I mean, I loved lamb. I mean, this is the most Greek shit. I think I've said this on the podcast, but one of the first baby videos of me, my parents took was like, I had one top tooth, one bottom tooth, and I was eating a lamb chop off the bone. I couldn't talk, but I was like eating lamb chops, like not little cut up pieces. My parents handed me a lamb chop, and
that was your first word was.
Yeah. I fucking love them. But I guess as a little kid,
where'd you grow up?
It is carby stuff, Baltimore.
Oh, okay.
We were right there, bro.
Yeah.
All three of us we didn't know it, man. We could have been hanging out, having fucking. I remember Eldest showed me the butter and sugar sandwiches, a true broke ass treat.
Oh yeah.
In hot dog buns.
No, we did that. There was a phase I did cream cheese and some
cream
hot
cheese
dog buns. That was
cream
pretty
cheese and
fucking
hot
good.
dog buns. Yeah. It was nice. I was poor, but Eldest was poorer, so I always felt like a king walking into his fucking disgusting apartment. And then he went to the burbs.
What happened? Why'd you leave?
Family just wanted a house.
I wanted to move on up, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun as a kid. You just combine things you like into one disgusting
Thing.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I would be chefing it up. Although I got really into making my own like double-decker ham and cheese sandwiches, where I would baste them in butter, and I would just fry ham and cheeses, and then I would fucking put like, it was a club sandwich. This is when I'm like 9, when I have use of the kitchen. Ooh, and we had a TV down there, and we had the little thing where you could, on the Nintendo, there was a cartridge you could plug Game Boy games on. So this is right when Pokemon was the shit. Ooh. I would make myself like 5 ham and cheese like butter soaked sandwiches and just play like Pokemon Blue for fucking 4 hours. It was so sick, man.
Dude,
those were the days, brother.
Yeah, I don't know about you. Like my mom, she started being like very strict with everything, and then it eventually just like dissipated into chaos.
Yeah.
But there was no we didn't have cable TV. We didn't have. I couldn't date. Like I couldn't do anything.
Interesting. No dating.
Yeah, just because she's very.
Your mom wasn't on that hippie shit. She was on more of the mystical shit.
Exactly.
Because your dad doesn't seem like he would care about you dating or doing anything weird.
Doing anything weird,
doing drugs and shit.
No, he was really against drugs. Like when I was like smoking pot in high school and he found out, he like freaked out. Because he thought I was going to just do heroin.
Right.
Immediately.
But he did it. That's the thing that's always so annoying about the hypocrisy. It's like, come on, guys. You've been here. Like, I have friends who were, like, such pieces of shit as youths.
Yeah.
And then, like, have become, have been better off. And now they're, like, in the suburbs pretending to be Republican. And it's like, you were a fucking delinquent. Like, you think other people shouldn't have the same chances to do dumb bullshit and then, like, bounce back like you?
Well, they don't realize that that's why they're like who they are.
Right.
It's like you think that like these drugs are just gonna like turn you into like a fucking loser.
Right.
But it's like no, it turned you into who you are.
Yeah. You were just a loser.
Yeah.
You were already a loser. It wasn't the weed's fault. I remember my mom caught me. I just gaslit her into being like, no. My mom caught me like talking about a weed, like I was gonna buy a bunch of weed to just stop with this nickel and diming bullshit. I was gonna buy like a couple ounces.
You were being smart.
I was being smart. I was going to Costco essentially, and she caught me just. I was brazenly just on my phone in the computer room, being like, "Yeah, okay, all right, $250. Like I could do that." Like just talking. And she's like, "What were you talking about?" I was like, I was buying liquor from. I was like, my lie was that I was buying another substance I wasn't allowed to have.
I was buying $250 of liquor.
Literally, dude. That's what I told her, and I just gaslit her. And I think she was just too scared to be like, oh man, because I was always like good for better. You know what I mean? I had good grades. She could depend on me, and I think she just was like, I can't even deal with if he's doing something fucked up. And I guess she just was like, he'll figure it out. She just kind of gave up and was like,
that's
she was
fine.
like, you know what? She just didn't bring it up.
She gave you a scale.
It was almost like, yeah. I did use her Weight Watcher scale to weigh weed on. Yeah, I sold weed for a little bit. But yeah, man, those were beautiful. Beautiful days. You know, you got to let your kids make some mistakes, folks. This is the parenting corner. I'm the last guy anyone should listen to about fucking, you know, any of that shit. But
yeah, my dad, one time I came home and he had like raided my entire closet.
Oh wow!
Looking for my weed. Wow. Like he was so upset about it, and I was like also, you know, eating meat. Like I was eating meat in high school at the same time, which I was also hiding.
Rebellious
in the same way.
Yeah,
you know, like I had to like sneak it into my bedroom.
Oh, you would eat it at home?
I would. Yeah.
Would you eat Slim Jims and shit?
No, I never ate red meat, but I was like just sneaking chicken up there and stuff like that. You know, eating a nice chicken fajita burrito.
Nothing wrong with that, brother.
With the window open, with a fan in the window.
You got a spoof. You're blowing out chicken into a fucking.
Yeah. What was that? The paper towel thing.
Paper towel with dryer
laundry.
sheets.
Yeah,
yes,
laundry
yes,
sheet.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're blowing out fajita breath into one of those,
and like hitting a joint, and just blowing that into the room.
Yeah, you're covering the chicken smell with weed.
Yeah. Just so my dad didn't smell the chicken.
Yeah. Oh man, that's so fucking funny. And you just, what was the chicken rebellion? You were like, I just want to try this. As like
I was just
like
working
14?
at this restaurant, you know, and I was a busboy for a while and a cashier and all this stuff. So I was just like, I would go through all the vegetarian things on the menu in a week.
Tired of it, yeah.
And then just be like, all right, time for some chicken.
Baby.
Yeah. I had a cheesesteak once.
Ooh, Philly.
Yeah, it was really high, and I don't really recall. It didn't make me sick, which was good, but I definitely didn't like fully experience it. I was like too high to really. But I remember staring at it and being like, "Am I doing this?" like having one of these like coming to God moments.
Yeah.
Like the meat thing, like I had real guilt about it.
Sure, I get that.
I also got really high one time in high school, and I went to Wawa and got a hoagie, like a tuna hoagie, because I ate, you know, fish, and I accidentally hit the bacon button. And I'm in the back seat of my friend's car, and I'm just like really high and like halfway through this thing, and then being like,
damn,
what
this is
that?
so good. This is the best sandwich I've ever had in my life.
I called my mom. Was
it legit a mistake?
Yes.
You're not even just like lying to yourself.
I'm not lying
this whole
to
time?
you. I'm not. I would never lie to you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that because that's big.
I called my mom, and I was really high, and I was like, I ate pork. Like, what do
crying.
I do?
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And she was like, it's okay. Say these prayers.
Yeah.
And I just, like, I'm just in the back seat of my friend's car, just like, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Like, just like, my friends are listening to rap, just like eating pork, and I'm like having a existential crisis.
My God.
You know?
I know I feel bad, but man, is pork delicious. And they're smart too, dude.
What
I feel like
pigs?
a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I feel like a piece of shit. Will I ever stop eating pork? I don't know that to be. I don't think I ever will. Maybe at some point. But every once in a while, I've cut down way. Like pork used to be a super go-to.
Yeah.
But it's like I don't respect birds at all. So I eat a lot of turkey and chicken, like a lot of ground meat and stuff. But I've been eating a lot of red. Cows I feel bad to, but they're not as smart as pigs. Mm-hmm. And they're so delicious, man. You ever have a ribeye? You let me know.
I will. One day.
Yeah.
Today.
Let's go get ribeyes.
Let's do that right after this.
I would do that.
You cancel the rest of the day.
Yeah. I got some at 3. We got enough time for a ribeye lunch, dude.
No, I mean, I think I would still feel the guilt.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not even about the animals, really.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like a baked in.
Interesting. It's not about the animals. It's
That's
like failing your family type shit.
Yeah, like
failing
I never
your religion.
Felt like when I was eating chicken, I was never like, oh, these poor birds.
Yeah.
It was more just like some baked in.
Huh.
If my parents weren't who they are, I think I'd just eat
Interesting.
anything because I don't have that like.
So you're still letting that guilt take that much of.
Well, now it's just like, you know, I don't know what it is. It's
I mean,
like if
it's
I
also
was
a habit at this point. It's like you've lived your whole
if I
life
was still
like
a
this.
virgin right now at like 35.
Yeah.
It wouldn't even be because I thought sex was bad or something. It would just be like
it's kind of mutated into itself in a weird way.
Some
these
weird
behaviors.
thing, but I guess at the end of the day, yeah. I
So
feel,
you don't care about the animal.
Not really.
It's just like letting your parents down. Is it even the religious aspect?
I mean, I guess at the end of the day, it's like, sure, if I'm like, yeah, I think it's a better probably
But that's
lifestyle.
not it. That's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about at the end of the day. We're talking about like what is it in you
That doesn't
like
eat meat?
what's that? Yeah, that thing that's like
I think it's just more like a habit
yeah.
and like just like a way I'm just used to it.
Inertia is very powerful.
Inertia,
the thing
yeah.
you've done your whole life.
Yeah.
And just anytime you break a habit that big, there is, I get what you're saying, there is
Yeah.
kind of like a built-in guilt of like, I mean, I felt that, I haven't felt that in a long fucking time, but like that initial break of like not living the way my parents wanted me to, like that initial like, I'm not going to fucking college. I'm not finishing college. I'm not getting a real job. That was really tough for me.
Yeah.
But ever since then, I don't really have, I mean, sometimes family stuff still gets to me in that, like, I'm like, fuck, I need to, like, do something for them, because, like, I don't know. That's built into me where I'm like,
Yeah.
these motherfuckers, I gotta, my shit's going well, and it's like, I just want them to do a little better, but it's like,
No,
I
totally.
can't help worrying about my family, but, yeah, I don't know that there's any kind of, like, I don't know. I think I'm free of most of the hang-ups, but I don't know. Who knows?
I mean, it seems like most, white people like tend to just like leave their parents and like never talk to them again.
Yes.
And their parents are like, great.
Right.
Wow,
right.
they're like so independent.
Yeah,
this is amazing.
People call in and talk about like, I want to have a kid, but I don't know if I can be responsible for them for 18 years. And I'm like, 18 years?
Yeah.
Like Greek people, it's like my dad lived with his mother until he got married. Yeah. And it's like your mother hands you off to your wife, and then they still hover around you
still
forever.
there.
Yeah.
And your mom's still cooking you food.
Yeah. And I want that, by the way. I do want I want my mom around. I want my brothers around. Like cousins for Greek people and like other immigrants, it's like a sibling, honestly. It's like
totally.
They're so close. And like if my brothers have kids, my kids and their kids, it's like that's not like a cousin is like whereas like yes, American white people, it's like a cousin is like lower than like a guy you work with to them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like a cousin is like, oh yeah, that's actually my cousin. Isn't that funny? It's like what?
It's like your friend's dog or something.
Yeah. It's like a dog you
even your
really
friend.
Yeah. It's like a cool dog. Like a dog that's well behaved.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I guess they're feeding that thing. That's cool. But yeah, I definitely like. I think because of growing up in this Muslim community, like I have that real like family thing, and I want to take care of them.
Yeah. So were your friends growing up like Muslim kids? Like,
well, there were a lot of Muslim kids, but then a lot of like my parents and their friends were the same type of person, who like converted or
right.
It's not even that these people would even consider themselves Muslim. In a way.
What was it called?
Sufi.
Yeah.
They would just be like, oh, I found this teacher and it changed my life. It's like the idea of being like a label and stuff is like not even what he was about.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, he was.
Yeah, but at the end of the day,
they built
it's like,
a mosque.
Yeah, they built a mosque.
There's
he got to fuck everyone's wife a couple times.
No.
The way to reach higher consciousness is everybody gets a turn in the tent, and whatever happens, and we don't talk about it.
I don't condone this joke.
Wow,
I'm
this
not
does,
laughing.
yeah. What's the point? Yeah, I kind of respect that guy if he didn't fuck everybody's wife. That seems to be the point of starting a thing like that. Is you get to fuck everyone's wife at least once. But I'm not accusing him of that. I don't want any kind of magic terrorism to happen to me. He pulls out it's like, 'cause you said they're like it's more like mystical. It's like some guy pulls a bomb out of a hat. Okay, I'm done.
Okay. That's very racist. In your mind, I'm the kid in the back of the car who's high. I'm like, I just ate pork and I'm just putting a curse on everyone's family.
Fuck.
Yeah, it makes sense. You think that?
Yeah. That's my frame of reference for mysticism. It's almost more embarrassing that what I could come up with for mysticism is like a guy pulling a rabbit out of a hat than it is being racist towards Islam.
Yeah. I mean, Islam, like the only representation we had for a long time was Ahmed the Dead Terrorist.
Of course, Crank Yankers. That was
what was his name?
Dunham, of course.
Dunham, yeah.
Yes.
That was the guy. He paved the way.
Yeah. So much nuance.
Skeleton. Wearing a turban, which isn't even...
I know. It's not the
That's
right
not what
thing.
Muslims wear.
Yeah.
And he goes, I kill you.
I know.
Like, that was it.
And everyone's like, yeah.
I rewatched it recently. I was like, this shit. I mean, it's so funny.
Yeah.
Just in its ignorance, it's
Yeah. You got to give it to him. It's like you just had no issue pulling that guy out in hundreds of sold out theaters.
And then right after the Mexican pepper.
Yep.
This guy.
But no,
this would not fly nowadays.
Are you kidding me? This fucking guy would be doing arenas now.
You're right.
He would be the biggest fucking act. It would be insanely popular. It's fucking.
There would just be 5 protesters outside.
And he would just be talking about how cancel culture's trying to get him, trying to stop his art.
Yes.
Jeff Dunham would love to rail again. You look up Jeff Dunham cancel culture.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
I'd love to see his
I wonder
thoughts
what he's
on
up
it.
to.
Oh, hell yeah. The tour is called Still Not Canceled. I mean, thank you. How is Jeff Dunham not retroactively canceled? Shut the fuck up on Reddit. He hosted SNL. That's hilarious. I mean,
oh my God, that's amazing.
Oh, still not canceled. That is so annoying.
I love the SNL. SNL's always having hosts who are just like...
I know.
I told Rami, I was like, there's the same... Like, people want Rami to say Free Palestine in the same way people wanted Shane Gillis to say retard.
Yeah.
Like,
that is so true.
There's the same, like, are they going to say it energy,
Yeah.
And, like, both crowds got exactly what they wanted.
They got what they wanted. Smart. You're right. I didn't think of that. SNL is just like, let's see if we can get a couple rabid fan bases tuning in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, 1,000%. Like a little controversy.
That was cool, though, that it's like, I know that's insane to think about, but growing up, there was a time where a guy could say Free Palestine in the middle of a conflict on NBC. That was not going on, man. Like, there does seem to be a shift in the thinking of, like, I don't know, in a way that doesn't, there was no discussion about, Israel and Palestine
ever
in any way. In a way that it does at least seem to be like, hey, can we just look at a few objective facts here? I mean, I guess it's harder. There's more stuff on the internet. There's more, reporting going on. And it's like the shit going on is so brazen that it might be different. But, and at the same time, it was cool that Shane said retard. I'm the kind of guy that liked both equally.
To you, it's the same.
To me, it's just as important. Both literally made me as happy, and it's just as important for society.
Lauren's gonna call me. He's like, "Would you eat a ribeye up there?"
Yeah, we need a Jew, Muslim, vegetarian, soy boy to eat. Honestly, you check a lot of boxes.
But the group of people that would be like really excited about that would be like you.
It would just be me again. Maybe they're making decisions based on me.
Yeah, it's
I
possible.
literally those two guys were my favorite SNL hosts.
I went on Birthright.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Holy shit.
yeah. So my parents, like, I mean, I was in high school and I was a virgin.
Yeah.
And then I was in college and I was a virgin.
Oh, tough.
And I was like, this stuff's getting,
This is getting tough.
it's getting weird. I can eat meat, but
Yeah.
this is harder.
Yeah, way harder.
Way harder. And my roommate, was like a very like Jewish Zionist guy, and he was like, dude.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to University of Vermont, but then I went to Temple University in North Philly.
Yeah.
And he was like, dude, you should go on this trip. Like, you'll get laid.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That's pretty much the whole sale.
Which I gotta give him credit.
That's how it works.
Zionists know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're like, that's what teenagers are interested in.
1,000%. As complex
Yes.
as Birthright. Like,
Yes.
when you start looking into Birthright, it gets crazier and crazier where you're
Totally.
like, oh, it's actually funded by evangelical Christians.
Right.
For the most part.
Right.
Who want Israel to be a Jewish state so that
when God
the
comes back,
apocalypse
yes.
can happen.
Yes.
That's actually what's happening.
It's so funny how many like extreme right wing Christians support Israel for
the
biblical
wrong
reasons.
reason.
Yeah,
Like,
for the reason that the best case scenario is the world ends.
Well, they're all gonna die.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
They're like,
they're trying to breed Jews for Israel to kill them off, so
them.
God comes back and saves the evangelicals. So that's their
yeah. And they'll be on a ship in the sky, floating above the burning city with Jesus. Like, yeah, we did that.
We did it. Thank you, Jesus.
Thank you so much.
Thank God we got those nerds laid. Yeah, thank God. Thank God those 19-year-old losers got pussy from prostitutes in Tel Aviv, and now this is possible. So you went, huh? And even though you were like, it was just like
I just was,
you get that Weinberg last name. They're not looking too into what else is going on.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
That's all I need. I mean, I went to the like Hillel Center. I was like, I was raised Muslim. Like, I gave them. I was like, here it is.
Yeah.
I am Muslim. I was raised Muslim. My dad was raised Jewish.
Yeah.
I have a lot of Jewish friends.
Oh,
My
yeah,
last name's
your mom's
Weinberg.
not even.
Yeah, so I'm not even Jewish.
So in Jewish tradition, you're not even Jewish.
I'm not even Jewish.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think your dad has to be Muslim for you to be Muslim. So I'm like 0.
You're nothing, dude.
I think. Can you look that up? I don't want to say that if I don't know.
Yeah.
But they were like, yeah, please. It was
to them,
like
it's a chance to convert.
1,000.
Dude, get a Muslim back,
dude. I was gonna
That's what they're looking for.
I was gonna be on the brochure.
We saved this guy. He was almost on the wrong team. But that's another weird thing. Is that like I never until Israel, right? I don't feel like Muslims and Jews didn't get along that much. Like I feel like they were there. It was just like different types of Middle Easterners.
Yeah, and like before, Zionism,
Right.
Muslims and Jews,
They're pretty similar.
They were chilling.
Yeah.
And there wasn't like a
definitely Europeans didn't like Jews a lot more than Muslims did.
For sure.
Not even close.
And I'm sure there's examples of Muslims being mean to Jews.
Of course.
In those like diaspora situations.
Yeah.
But overall, this situation started with this like Zionist issue, I don't mean to get into
No, we don't have to get into it. But I want to hear more about. But I do think it is funny because a lot of Jews just were Middle Eastern guys. Like we think of Jews as like after you think of them like European or like Polish or like from wherever the fuck Lithuanian Jews and shit like that. But I do feel like they were just a different type of Middle Eastern guy. Like half of Jews were just like,
Yeah, they just looked the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They totally do, by the way.
1,000%.
But so you're over there on and they're like, great, we'll get one back. Here's your one-way ticket. Here's your, ticket to...
Here you go.
What was it like?
I mean, it was incredible.
Yeah.
I was fully brainwashed.
Really? Did you get pussy?
No.
Damn.
That's why I'm so pro-Palestine. I was like, these motherfuckers.
The food was all right. It was a fun trip, but come on,
man.
I gotta go back home. Still a fucking virgin.
I mean, I was like, it was also just like the trip of a lifetime. I mean,
Yeah.
you just go and
Especially if you don't travel a lot as a kid too. It's like if you're from a,
Yeah.
you know, like that's kind of sick.
I did travel though. Like
you did?
I went to Mecca.
Oh, wow.
I went to Turkey a bunch of
Holy
times. Like I've been to like a lot of Muslim places.
Interesting.
But I think like growing up as like a Muslim in America, like it just I didn't have like this
During a really cool time.
during
to
a
do
really
that.
cool time.
Yeah, we're the same age. 9/11 happens in 6th grade, right?
Dude, yeah, and I was like, I mean, I'm white, so it really didn't matter.
Yeah, and your name's Weinberg.
My name's, but that was the first time I experienced any Islamophobia.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I was the only Muslim in my school, so it was like, I didn't.
They're like, I guess we'll have to be racist to him, even though he's
guess-
white.
Yeah.
Even though he's white and kind of Jewish.
Well, they would literally be like, "Oh yeah, fucking Barack Hussein," and I'm like, "I'm sitting right here. Like, what are you talking about?"
Yeah.
They were like real, like, you know, I went to like a private school because I grew up in like this part of Philly. My parents didn't want me going to the public school system.
Sure. Hey, I went to Baltimore City public schools. My parents weren't cowards.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
sent me, dude.
I wish they sent me.
Yeah.
Because I was growing up and there were like all these rich kids, and you know, a lot of them had these baked in
Totally.
perspectives about Muslims and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So it got weird, but it was never that bad for me.
Yeah.
Just because I'm white. I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
They were just like, oh, he's like smoking weed, so
Yeah,
he must be cool.
We saw him put a little bacon on that fish sandwich. He's good.
They saw me press the button. They're like, it's working. Yeah, we're getting it.
Damn, dude, that's it. That's fascinating. Going to Mecca and Turkey and all that kind of shit.
Yeah, but it was never like, I think the thing
They were family trips, though, right?
family trips and trips with other like hippie Muslim types and things like that.
It's
where
an
we-
extension of.
like experiencing
Yes.
these things like as a kid was like, you know, I was bored quite a bit.
Of course, yeah.
And you're in Mecca and you're like experiencing the most incredible thing in the world,
Yeah.
basically. And I'm like, there's no pizza here.
Yeah. I want to play fucking Game Boy.
I want, yeah. They like
Yeah.
they don't get MTV, like,
Yeah,
you know. And I, of course, like now I think I would go back and like have the most amazing
Totally.
experience in my life because I'm like really into this stuff.
Yeah.
As an adult, but as a
Are
kid,
you religious now?
yeah, I'm pretty religious.
Cool.
you know.
Interesting.
But you know, not maybe as much as some of my more traditional Muslim friends because I grew up in this like
Yeah.
Sufi
For your
for my community.
Also, compared to everyone in like comedy or entertainment, you might as well be a fundamentalist if you just even sort of believe in God.
even if I say
Yeah.
I believe in God, yeah,
Yes,
that is true. But definitely like these trips were like religious trips, and I was like, just like. I just want to be like.
It's like when they show a movie in Sunday school, it's like, okay, it's still about fucking Joseph and his Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Right.
It's not a good movie. Right. It's like it's still boring. Like
I had all the same.
You had a
feelings
religious vacation. It's not a real vacation.
Yeah,
Whereas
1000%.
like Birthright, it's like their whole plan is like let these motherfuckers have the best time of their lives.
1,000%.
It's a recruiting trip.
Even-
It's like you're it's your star wide receiver going to fucking Alabama for the weekend. You know what I mean? Like that's what it is.
That's the whole, yeah. Where like, you know, even when we would go to the Florida Keys when I was a kid, like we would do that, and it would still be like, you know, women in bikinis on the beach. Like,
Yeah.
blow my mind.
Yeah.
Blow my mind. And my mom would be like, we can't, like, this is too
Wow.
much. You know, there's too
Interesting.
much, like, thongs and stuff. She'd be like, this is too
much temptation of the flesh.
Yeah, let's go back to the hotel. Let's pray.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Not like that crazy,
Yeah.
but she would get
And
uncomfortable.
your dad's like,
with that.
I don't know.
Yeah, my dad's like,
Maybe we could chill a little
dad's
bit.
like, we are
have a
fa-
bagel or two.
my dad's like, we are facing east.
Yeah.
When you think about it.
He's got his prayer rug, but he's just bowing directly into a woman's ass. It's east.
I remember seeing a woman's bikini top fall off and like seeing
wow.
a tit when I was a kid and just being like, this is the greatest
Best day
experience
of your life, dude.
Yeah.
Seeing an accidental titty.
Yeah.
I remember that same thing at like I was pretty young, and it was like the Greek festival, and it was like hot, and like a girl was like not wearing a bra. This like, you know, I was like 10, and this woman was like probably early 20s, and she just kind of like leaned, and like I could just see like her tit from like that, you know, her tit kind of popping. It wasn't even out. You just could kind of see her nipple, and I was like, that memory is like burned into my head now.
Yeah.
It's 25 years later, and I'm like, I remember that she was wearing a red top. I remember that she, like, I don't know who this woman was, but her face is like, I could draw it from memory, like, in a way that I don't remember other people's faces.
It's crazy that we had that kind of childhood and then suddenly the internet. And
We were
then
the last bastion of
porn.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I went from like seeing one tit to like the world.
Every tit. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, this is all
This all takes me to
beautiful
birthright.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's. You have any more birthright thoughts? Because I think we're ready to.
Are we ready to
We're
take
ready
some calls?
to take some calls. You know, we've shown the you
Live
have,
from Tel Aviv.
that you have a background. Yeah, you have a mystical religious background to really help. We haven't really given that to our callers, our friends here. So I think you're bringing a fresh perspective to Stavvy's world that we could really
beautiful.
use. Do you want? Is there any more thoughts on birthright? To just anything fun happen?
I don't know.
No?
Just being brainwashed and
Yeah.
just being like,
You come back.
you're like, yeah, I came back and I was
And you were like,
I went to my parents and I was like, I'm Jewish.
And they're like,
I
okay.
figured it out. I'm Jewish. And
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
like, I think you just like went to a place where they're like telling you
How sick it is to
how
be Jewish.
sick it is, and they're like, you can live here for free, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you can just, there's a whole life here if you ever want it. And
Yeah,
everyone
yeah,
loves
yeah,
you. And
yeah,
blah, blah,
yeah,
blah,
yeah,
and it's
yeah,
the best
yeah,
thing in the
yeah,
world.
yeah.
And then my mom was like, you know, I think you should look into what's going on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One Google search, you're like, yeah, I don't know.
I said, say no more. Yeah. She goes, you know, there's pussy on the other side of the wall, too.
Your mom dropped the whole act. She's like, look, we can get you laid. If it's gonna take, if that's what it's gonna take, we can
that's what
get
it
you some
takes.
pussy.
Yeah.
Just stop with all this bullshit. Do you have anything you want to plug here at the midway point, my friend?
Just follow me on Instagram, Ahamed Weinberg.
There you go.
Come to my shows.
Follow,
please.
come to a show. It's very funny gentleman over here on the couch, folks.
Thank you.
Yeah, Eldest, why don't we take a couple calls here? What do we got?
Stavvy, Eldo, love you guys, esteemed guests.
Not playing.
I'm
idiot.
sure you're an awesome person if you're on the Stavvy show.
Oh, there we go.
Stavvy, Eldo, love you guys, esteemed guests. I'm sure you're an awesome person if you're on the Stavvy show. I called earlier and I left too long of a message, so I'll try to leave this one a little more
This
brief.
one's so long.
Basically, in high school, I was dating this Guatemalan chick and took her virginity, and
Okay.
she, we dated for about 6 months afterwards, and when we broke up, she stalked me for about 2.5 years, and, I finally got rid of her. Fast forward almost 20 years later, I have a
20
wife,
years
I got
later.
3 kids, my twins are 7, and then my oldest is 9, and, I created a Facebook so that I could, share pictures with the family and stuff like that. First thing that happens after I created and put pictures and all that is I get a message from my stalker that says, I don't know who she is, but I envy every drop of her. I'll see you soon.
Oh, God.
And I showed my wife, and she obviously wants to call the cops. She's very worried. She thinks this girl is out of her mind, crazy. I mean, it's been 20 years, and she's still on that. So
That's crazy.
obviously she's got a screw loose, but in my personal opinion, I dealt with it for so long. I've done all that stuff. When I call the cops, when I try to escalate it and try to get her to stop, when I get angry, it only feeds into it, and she ends up getting even crazier and doing crazier things. So I think the best thing to do is to ignore her, block her on Facebook, just don't give her that attention, and just let it just die out like that. My wife is not happy with that. We've been going back and forth for a while now, and I don't know what to do, man. I'm just really concerned because, like I said, it's been 20 years, and I don't want this crazy bitch to try to do something, to me or my children or my wife, because I gave her some good dick 20 years ago. And
Has to pat himself on the back.
it's
Pause
kind of
this.
stressful.
There's no way your dick has anything. This was high school. She was a virgin. You think you laid it down so good? You don't think this is just a mentally ill woman, an insanely mentally ill woman? That's so fucking cool to be like, dude, it's just the hard part is I fucking dicked her down so good.
I dicked her down so good on an air mattress.
Yeah.
3 p.m. before my parents came home.
I gave her the time of her life in the back of a Hyundai Elantra, 45 seconds at a time. All right, let's finish.
Yeah, it's got nothing to do with the fact that we kept talking.
Yeah.
After we broke up for so long.
Yeah. Anyway, let's finish this and let's.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think she has anything crazy on me. If anything, I got videos and pictures of her, so I don't know.
What? Why do you have that?
Kind of confused. I don't know what to do.
What?
Yeah.
You have videos and pictures of her?
Love you guys.
From 20 years ago? Please tell me you mean you have videos of her being weird, not you kept sex souvenirs from high school.
He's basically
which
saying,
might be child pornography.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
He's like, don't worry, she's got nothing on me, but I do have a lot of child porn on my phone at the current moment. Don't worry, I'm safe.
I got her dead to rights. I have vintage child pornography to show the authorities.
If we're ever in court, don't worry.
I will pull that out, and I won't even run it by my lawyer. It'll be like a surprise, like at the end of SVU. Okay, so did he say they kept in touch, or
Yeah, it said for
He
2.5
said they dated
years.
for 6 months, and then he says she stalked him for 2.5
Gotcha.
years
No,
after they dated.
But he said earlier we kept talking, right? We dated for 6. We broke up. Oh,
Yeah, after they broke
She
up for
stalked
dating
me.
for 6 months, she started stalking him for
Gotcha,
2.5
gotcha,
years.
gotcha.
Okay, never mind.
so? This is crazy that if this was 20 years ago and they had no contact, that he makes a Facebook and she instantly finds him. That's kind of fucking wild.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of see both sides here. Well, first of all, if you have any pictures of her as underage, if you have any pictures, delete them.
That's not leverage.
That's weird as fuck, bro. That is so fucked up and strange. Like, if I think about somebody I fucked in college and like keeping that was legitimately 15 years ago. Like, that's so strange to fucking have. I don't have it. I think it's weird. We've talked about this on the show before. I think it's weird to keep souvenirs from old relationships in general. I think it's kind of fucking pathetic and a little creepy. But 20 years from high school is like illegal.
20 years. Wait, so how old is this guy? I'm trying to.
I mean, he's probably our age.
Yeah, so
unfortunately,
I don't think I had an iPhone.
Yeah, I didn't either. This man's got a Motorola Razr with fucking with 17-year-old tits on it. This guy's got a Nokia with pussy pictures.
He emailed them to his fucking Gmail, like literally when Gmail was invented.
Of a digital camera.
I've got a Hotmail account with some pretty incriminating photos on it. And I understand why his wife is a little freaked out. This guy
100%.
will not get rid of these photos. Like, that should be step one.
Okay, so that is fucking crazy. I do think he's probably right in that for the time being, you just have to be like, we have to ignore this. Hope it goes away, right? This is a fucking crazy person. Does this person live near you? For the time being, I wouldn't go to the cops. Right? First of all, you think the cops are going to be helpful? It's insane to think that. Like, it would have to be pretty. You have to get down the line to get cops involved. Like, you call the cops right now, they're just going to be like, hey, buddy, I get it. They're just going to be like, okay, but she didn't really do anything. See you later. You know what I mean? Like, they're not going to do shit.
1000%.
So, I think you're right. Ignore her. Definitely don't reach out to her. Definitely don't talk to her. That's crazy. And you just have to have, like, you just kind of have to be on alert. And if anything pops up, then you go to the cops. I mean, there's no real way to go around this. Don't mention the pictures to the cops. Don't bring those up. And yeah, I mean, you have a wife and 3 kids. I get where your wife is coming from, but I think what you need to say is not, let's just ignore this, but like, hey, I'm with you. I want to deal with this as you know, swiftly and right as possible, but we don't have, as annoying as it is, we don't have any evidence right now that this woman was going to, like, she's just made vague threats. Hopefully we just ignore her. You know, I'm as freaked out as you, but in the past, if I ignored her, it went away, and the more attention I gave to her, the more it got worse. The second that we can go to the cops, I will, but right now this just doesn't make sense.
I get your wife's scared. You've got twins. I mean, that's already scary.
Yeah.
And then you've got this, like, threat.
Yeah.
And then you've got the cops where you're a guy calling saying a woman is stalking you. They're going to be like, fucking lucky.
Yeah, pussy.
Nice, dude.
Have you thought about sexually assaulting her and getting away with it because we don't really do anything in that scenario?
I mean, a restraining order, is that like a thing that makes sense in this scenario?
Yeah, I think but I just think at this point, a vague sort of I'll see you soon like, it is freaky.
Yeah.
But I don't think the cops were going to do anything for that. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But I feel like especially now where so many people get bullied online, you think cops are fucking checking out every weird message you're getting from someone on the internet? No way.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and they're definitely not going to respect a man getting stalked by a woman, probably.
Right.
But you have a family, whatever. I think if this woman makes any kind of, like, in-person contact, the second she does that, and hopefully the photos and videos you're describing are her being crazy, and if you have evidence of her being insane, the second she actually becomes any kind of a real problem, I think you go to the cops. I just think right now it might be a little premature to do that, and I think you're right. Block her, ignore her. You know, you have, you've dealt with this in the past, and then, like, you know, if hopefully it doesn't happen, but yeah, then go to the cops. Maybe talk to a lawyer at this point, because they actually know the law. They're not fucking a few idiots on a podcast, but talk to a lawyer about this kind of thing. They might be able to give you actual useful advice on how cops behave around this kind of thing, like, or if you have a friend that's a cop, or just somebody that can either confirm or deny our hunches here that the cops aren't going to be useful right now. But yeah, I think you talk to your wife that way and say, hey, I want to get this dealt with. Let's ignore it. Let's block her. And the second this crosses any other line, like, we'll go to the cops and then, you know.
I think your wife is probably, like, your wife thinks you're not doing enough, and don't show her this podcast.
Yeah, definitely don't.
Honey,
I'm working on it. Yeah.
I haven't gone to a detective or anything yet, but Stavvy.
But we called into Stavvy, and by the time he got to it, it's probably 4 months after I called in. So don't worry.
Yeah. I think that's true. I think, like, take it to some version of authority. Show your wife that you care. Yeah, take a step, maybe talk to somebody who understands these proceedings a little better. But yeah, I don't know about the cops yet. This woman is out of her mind, though. I mean, for sure.
20 years later, stalking someone who has a fucking family. I wonder what this guy did, maybe, too. It's like, did he do something fucked up to her? Like, are we getting, like, only one side of the story here? He, like, even being, like, took her virginity. Like, it's like, I mean, I guess that's valuable information. Maybe
she's like, babe, I popped her cherry. That's why she's so fucking crazy.
I popped her cherry with his sweet-ass dick. What can you expect, babe?
I love the version of him telling his wife, like, she's obsessed with me because of my dick. And his wife being like, that's not it.
Yeah.
That's not what's happening.
Good luck, man. There does seem to be more, but whatever. That is fucking scary.
That's scary.
Hey, Stavvy, what's up? Listening to you for a while. This is my second time calling. I have a different situation this time.
Okay, here we go.
So I recently matched with this girl on this dating site. You know, she's very cute. She might be a little bit heavier set, not like super. Like,
okay.
You know, she's just short, but she got like really nice pair of knockers on her. And shit like that.
This is unnecessary, but that's awesome.
She has a 4-year-old son, so I'm like, all right, cool. You know, we all got things.
Totally
we all got
unnecessary.
our crosses to bear type shit.
Sure.
We've all got our crosses to bear.
Yeah, a child, a human being.
This guy's perspective on children is terrible.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's like, yeah, I got this girl, little thick, kind of fatter than I like, but huge tits. Has an annoying fucking son, but hey, some people are born without their fucking, right foot, so whatever. All right, let's see.
She has a 4-year-old son, so I'm like, all right, cool. We all got things. We all got our crosses to bear type shit.
Like me, I don't pay my taxes. Me.
And I'm talking to her, and I really, 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 really want to just smash her and then call it a day. You know what I mean? Because she got some really nice pair of knockers and pretty decent ass. But then, over the course of talking, because we haven't even met yet.
What?
Because we like barely matched like last week. She's talking about she wants a relationship, and then in the future she would hopefully want a relationship, and not even with me. We're just kind of discussing in intentions and things like that.
This guy's awesome.
So then I pretty much just told her what she wanted to hear.
Oh.
How do I go about like smashing her a few times, but like still not flying for that stepfather role? And
come on,
not, like,
man.
I don't know, like not getting in too deep. I'd really appreciate it. Shout out to Elders.
Come on, you piece of shit.
Shout out to you, man. Let me know what you think.
Hey, man, this woman made it so clear what she wants out of a relationship. She communicated with me like an adult. How do I?
I've been lying to her, but what else can I do?
Oh, yeah. Lying's good, but it's not enough.
I haven't had sex with her. I don't know how much lying I'm going to need to do to get there. And then how do I get out of it? Because I've obviously been lying to someone.
I mean, what does he even want? I don't understand. Because he's just doing what's necessary. He's lying and manipulating a woman to fuck her. Which we are against, by the way. We don't think you should do that. You clearly just want to fuck this woman. She said what she's into. It's not what you're interested in. Don't fuck this lady unless you do have a change of heart and are going into it being like, maybe I do want this. You clearly don't. You don't want a relationship. You don't want to be you said stepfather, which, by the way, she seems so much more mature than him. Is she even asking for that? Or is she just like, I want to date with the intention of a relationship? She seems like the kind of person who wouldn't want you to even meet her kid until it was even more serious than this. You know what I mean? Like, don't do this, man.
Unless you want to stalk her for 20 years.
And she would actually be well within her rights. Well, no, stalking, you're not within your rights, but, she would be within her rights to be pissed off at you and want to get back at you. But
this sounds like the missing part from the first call.
It does a little bit. Yeah. I mean, but yeah, dude, what even do you want out of us? What advice do you want? You said you told her what you wanted to hear. In general, I will say that is not good advice. No, now look, am I going to sit here and tell you that as a younger man I haven't done similar things? No, I'm not going to do that. Okay? But I don't know how old this guy is. Part of maturing is like, it's also like, what are you going to do? You're going to let's say you have sex with her. The second you nut, you're going to feel bad. Mm-hmm. She's going to feel attached. Mm-hmm. You're going to feel guilty. It's going to be messy. What's even the point here, dude? Get out of here. Date somebody who wants what you want, especially someone who made it so clear what they're looking for as a relationship. It's just not going to feel good after you fuck her. There's nothing good. Nothing positive will come from this. Trust me. Yeah, not worth it, man.
Yeah. You're going to have sex. The kid's going to jump in the bed.
He's going to get in there. He's going to be like, do you like Transformers?
Yeah.
I'm Megatron. My favorite's Megatron. Who's yours?
You're going to have to look in this kid's eye and be like, I'm lying to your mother.
Yeah, it's like, dude, I'm just trying to fuck your mom. She has big-ass tits. Get off my dick, kid. I'm not going to be around. I'm going to get 2-3 more nuts off max. I'm going to leave before Christmas. I ain't buying you fucking shit. Don't get your heart set on a fucking other toy just because I nutted in your mom a couple times.
He's saying this and she can hear it.
Yeah.
She's like, you're right next to me. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm sorry, honey. So anyway, your options are don't date her and keep lying to her, or do it, feel bad, get guilty, and like deal with the fallout. I say don't deal. We don't have some mythical third way where you get to fuck her and not feel bad, right? Doesn't exist.
Right.
So those are your options. We suggest don't fuck her. Next,
say you want something casual and she'll say no.
Right. Yeah, that's
Most
actually
likely.
that actually is the
Right?
mature thing, because who knows?
Yeah.
She made her intentions clear, but she might be willing to settle. I mean, probably not. You're clearly dumb as shit. But who knows? Her life might be so bad. She's like, you know what? Fuck it. And by the way, that exists. Women are out there. Even women, like we've talked to people who they had single moms, and some of them want to like get something serious and have somebody steady. And other women have looked at it where they're like, just me and my kid. I don't want some guy around, but I want to get some dick. Like that exists. And also there's women without kids that want that. Like you just have to be, the clearest thing you can do is just say what you want. It's hard, but it's cowardly not to. What else, LD?
Hey, Stav, I got 2 questions for you, unrelated to each other. Number one, I'm the commissioner of my fantasy football league, and the dues are about to start coming in.
Nice.
Am I allowed to use that money to gamble with? You know, just a little parlay here or there on some NFL games. Of course, if I lose it, I'll make it right. Like, I'll take it out of my own money. But do I really need to have $900 just sit in my account, not making me money the entire NFL season?
Money.
Like, let's put that money to work. Second question. As a child of immigrants like yourself, I want you to explain how to rationalize paying for your Patreon. Like, you're about the same age as me.
Okay.
I feel like this is a
I don't give
cable
a fuck
TV
if you pay
versus
for it or
antenna
don't.
argument of, TV's for free. Turn off the antenna. Why would I pay for something I'm getting for free? So, if you could put a little ethnic twist on that, that'd be great. Thank you.
I want some advice, and also, can you do a bit about this specific thing?
Do you do a bit about how it's okay for me to steal from you? Here's how I feel about the Patreon. If you have the money, pay for it. If you don't, steal it. I don't give a fuck. I really don't, right? I would prefer, just listen to the podcast. I've been there before where I didn't have money and I didn't pay for shit and I stole shit. And then when I got money, I started subscribing to stuff, right? It's not a matter of, it's just a matter of if you want to steal it. If you have the money and you steal it, you're a piece of shit. Because it's like, yeah, it's a service you want, so you should pay for it. I get it. Subscriptions pile up. $5 here, $5 there. But, someday we're going to start paying Elvis a salary. And that's only going to be possible if people actually pay for the Patreon. So far, he's doing it for college credit. So he's going back.
3-year internship.
He's going back to get a communications degree at 35. But in terms of the gambling on NFL games, with your friends' money, by the way. Mm-hmm. Okay, this is kind of interesting because you're essentially talking about, this is what banks do, right? Like your money, banks use it, but you know what happens? You get a little interest, right? So if you're going to use your friend's money to gamble, right? And which by the way, you're not going to win. I love how this is some world where he wins. What's going to happen is you're going to pay the $900 out of your account after you lose this money, right? But in some fantastic world where you won on this, your parlays hit and you made $2,700, you triple your money. Let's just say you double your money. That's fine. But since you used their money to gamble, you should pay them a little interest the way a bank does when they invest your money. So 5% or something. You know what I mean?
5% of your winnings.
5% of your winnings should go back into the pot.
Yeah.
That's what I think you should do. Especially if you're going, you obviously cannot steal $900 from your friends. That's clear. If you lose, you do have to put it back. But if you win, give them a couple percentage points.
I like how you can rationalize paying $900 in gambling losses potentially, but not paying $5 a month for Patreon
for a podcast he likes, and that that's like how many hours of extra entertainment. But whatever, man. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
I actually feel pretty good. I feel like King Solomon on that one. I feel wise. I feel like I gave him great advice there.
do you think you should tell them that he's doing it?
No,
No.
he shouldn't tell them.
Also, it seems like he has $900.
Right. This is kind of
Somewhere.
semantic, right? Because it's not like it's just in your account. It's just electronic money.
If you lose $900, do you have it to pay your friends with?
Right.
If they want their money back. Yeah.
Yes, this is really only a dilemma.
It's
Yeah.
like when you have roommates and they pay you the rent because you pay the landlord, and you're like, "Whoa, I have $4,000 in my account."
Right.
Yeah,
It's like,
exactly.
no, yeah, exactly. It's like, what do you even talk? So, yeah, you're right. What does it matter? If you have the money to pay back, you're not really gambling. It's a strange question, but yes, if you use that particular electronic money and you win, you got to give him a couple percentage points.
Good call.
Fuck, dude, is it time? Ahamed, how do you feel about getting twisted, man?
What do you mean?
Whoa, what the fuck's going on?
What is that?
Holy shit, what's that sound?
Is there a band here?
Oh my god. Oh fuck.
Keep it twisted.
Holy shit, it's time to keep it twisted. Pause it real fast, Elvis. Shouldn't we bring the fucking twisted teas in here?
It's right there.
Holy fuck, it's time to keep it twisted with the Twisted Tea hotline question of the day. The twisted question of the day. We're still working on the name of the segment.
If you're gambling with your friend's money, make sure to drink Twisted Tea.
Well, no, we have a
Twisted.
we have a twisted the Twisted Tea question on the Twisted Tea hotline. Again, we're gonna work on the name of the segment. But Eldis made this little song. We made that drop. Let us hear the drop again, Eldis.
Keep it twisted.
And you can take this home, man.
Wow.
This is for you, brother.
I'm sleeping on the street, but I'll take it.
The Twisted Tea game day pack. And we have a question here that, bit of a twisted question from one of our Eldis has assured me it's a twisted question, and let's hear what our caller is wondering, and maybe our wisdom, and also some of the wisdom from our friends at Twisted Tea, which by the way is one of it's brewed with real iced tea. I don't know if you know this.
It's 100% organic.
It's brewed. I don't know about that. I don't know that we're gonna make that claim. The good folks of Twisted Tea are paying for this segment.
Sorry. It's locally sourced.
No. But it is 5% alcohol by volume. It's a delicious treat to enjoy on game days, not on game days. And let's see what our pal here has to say.
Hey, Stavvy. I'm in a bit of a pickle. So I play in a beer volleyball league.
I think you mean you play in a Twisted Tea volleyball league, in a
Keep it twisted.
twisted volleyball league with a bunch of friends. Go ahead, Eldis.
volleyball league with a bunch of friends, and a guy on my team expressed interest in me.
Oh, very nice.
He's a little bit on the shy side, so he never really made any aggressive moves, never bought drinks, nothing
Never
like
bought
that.
maybe a
We did end up going out to
Twisted
dinner.
Tea.
Keep it twisted.
Well, that's you want to get some pussy, you gotta offer buy a lady some twisted tea.
Take her on birthright.
Okay, so he never took you out for some twisteds. What else?
Never really made any aggressive moves, never bought drinks, nothing like that. We did end up going out to dinner twice. And after the second dinner, we went back to my place.
Oh, back to your place.
And the only thing that happened was that he asked permission to hold my hand, which is, of course, very sweet, very innocent. But at the end of the day,
Second day back at her place. Can I hold your hand? That's not twisted.
Keep it twisted.
This guy needs to keep it more twisted than that. That's Twisted Tea. No. Actually, yeah, maybe we should blur these out during the during the ad read, Elders. No, this is good. We're learning what we're doing. Twisted Tea. No, don't mention any other brand, Ahmed. Just Twisted Tea.
Twisted.
No, stop. All this is being cut. Bleep out everything he's saying and say, in fact, put in him saying Twisted Tea. And yeah, we're going to have to blur the cans or put fucking Twisted Teas over Twisted Tea.
A non-brand.
Twisted Tea. All right.
Sorry.
No, it's all good.
Very sweet, very innocent, but at the end of the day, it's just not what I need.
Sure.
Different problem for a different day, whatever. But since then, things have simmered down quite a lot, and I've lost probably the majority of my feelings for him. So it's over and done with. We're friendly. It's fine. We still play on the same teams. Not a big deal. Fast forward to today. We still play on the same team, and now his brother plays with us too. And you know where I'm going.
Sounds
His
pretty
brother's
twisted.
Hot, okay, he's hot. He gives me attention. It's like little things where we're sitting at a table, and he'll make sure his leg is touching mine, like that kind of stuff. You know? I don't know.
Sure.
But I just have a thing. I have a thing. So I don't really know how relationships work between brothers. You know what I'm going to ask? Is it wrong to pursue the brother? I haven't yet. I just have a big fat crush, and I know it's mutual. Would it be wrong? Would the family, implode on each other? Like, would they never recover?
Okay. Relax, lady. Pussy so good you destroy a family? I don't know about all that. Implode.
I know I'm not that great, but,
Well,
I don't know how this stuff works. If they never talk again after this, I would never
They'll probably
recover from that.
talk.
I'd feel so guilty.
That's
They've
nice of
already
you.
talked
This is
about
something
it.
that,
For sure. There's no way.
Yeah, he's like, yes, okay. So the plan's at play. I pretend to be a huge pussy for 3 months, and then I softened her up for you, man. And now you go in there and then fuck her, and then we'll do this next. They do this. They go to volleyball league doing this. It's like the Prestige. One of them switches off every time.
What should we do this time? Should we do the hand holding thing?
Yeah,
Or what
should we do hand holding pussy? Makes way for Alpha Mystery Brother halfway into the season.
Should I act like a huge piece of shit, and then you are the hand holding guy, or how do you want to work this one?
Okay, but at the end of the day, go ahead.
leave, I'm fine leaving because I don't want to ruin up the family dynamic. But at the end of the day, I just don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways,
get that.
Love you lots. Be well. Take
This is
care.
a nice call. This is sweet.
And
This is a
shout out
sweet
to all
gal
the
right
female
here.
listeners.
Keep it twisted.
This is a sweet gal trying to keep it twisted. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna help her keep it twisted with the help of our friends at Twisted Tea. First of all, I'd say maybe crack open a delicious Twisted Tea and think it over. So I know you're saying that they definitely have talked about it, but I also could see. I mean, I do wonder what these brothers are like.
Yeah.
Because it's like.
The thing is,
The one guy is so kind of I don't know, sounds like kind of a cute little dork that maybe he doesn't, and maybe this is the dynamic. I could see this being the way their lives have gone.
Yeah.
Not knowing enough about these people, right?
Yeah.
Kind of going on the dark. I could see it being that kind of thing where it's also, how many times has that happened where, I feel like sometimes there are people that you meet, or one of your lame friends is talking about a girl that they kind of want to smash, and then you'll go to a party and you hit it off with her because what the girl liked about him is just the portions of your personality your lame friend was stealing or something like that. You know what I mean? When a group of friends has a similar, almost culture or we had a guy that we grew up with that wouldn't let us meet his friends in college, and it turned out he was straight up just stealing our inside jokes and trying to be funny towards them with shit me and Eldest were saying. And so, like, I wonder sometimes there is, or you'll see a meme of women saying that where they'll be like, meeting my boyfriend's friends for the first time and realizing I picked the loser in a group or something like that. Like, that happens to people sometimes where this brother, his cool mystery brother that came in might just be the alpha version of him.
Right.
And he might have been losing girls to him his whole life. So, you know, we're making fun of her a little bit, but it's sweet that she's even worried about that. Mm-hmm. I guess my thing is, this isn't really about you. It's kind of about them, right? Mm-hmm. Like, if the guy, I wonder if the answer here is to just kind of see what happens. And if the guy pursues you, that's kind of out of your hands, right? You know what I mean? Like, that absolves you of all guilt, in my opinion. Not that you should have any guilt, really. Because, like, if a guy on your team, just that they're brothers, is that really your fault? Is it your fault? I mean, you went out with this guy. It's not like you completely rejected him. You went out with him, and it was like, you just didn't like him. I don't know.
It's tough because, you know, you're dealing with men. We've been listening to these voicemails.
Right.
Guys that are like, I'm lying. What do I do next? Like, what's the next step?
I'm betrayed.
Like, that's base level.
Yes.
Just like being a dude trying to get laid.
Yes.
To a lot of guys.
For sure.
So it's a tough situation because even if you asked the cool brother, hey, would this be cool?
Like, yeah.
Would your younger brother mind? I've had women lie to me.
Right.
Like, it's just kind of,
not,
you never know.
regular. I've seen one that looks like that. Those kind of lies.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh no, he'd be totally cool with it. It's no problem. Like, we already talked about
that's
it. That's
not too much red hair on a penis. That kind of thing.
Yeah,
you know?
I've experienced that.
But I know what you mean, though. Yes.
But you know what I mean.
Yes.
And then later, it's like, no, sorry, I actually didn't talk to him about it.
Yes.
And actually, he's pissed. He's in love with you.
I actually went to talk to him about it after we fucked, and I saw a shrine with your hair in it. He seems to be. He was just doing pull-ups and cleaning his gun, but I'm sure it'll be fine.
The only way to fully, it would be awkward, but if you talk to both of them separately, and we're like, I'm worried about hurting your brother's feelings.
But even that, it's like, I mean, I guess they did go on a couple dates, but I guess
she says they're cool.
Yeah, I guess what complicates it is that they are friendly. They're on the same team. Mm-hmm. They see each other. But I think that's so much responsibility for somebody who, they didn't date. They went on they got dinner a couple times and they held hands. Fucking, you know, she held his clammy ass hand for like 15 minutes. You know, like, I just feel like, does she really owe this guy that much? It's the fact that it's his brother that is complicating things. Because if it was just a guy on the team, there's no discussion whatsoever.
It's almost, it's more complicated than, like, you know, if your friend likes a girl and then she likes you,
right?
It's almost because you're friends, you have to, like, figure that out to not ruin the friendship.
I really think it's more on the brothers than it is her, without question.
Yeah,
just looking at them as friends, exactly. Because it's like, you have to figure that out between you guys.
But I'm just saying, because they're brothers, there might even be less courtesy.
Right.
They might even want to talk about it less and make sure it's okay.
Good point.
No,
that's a good point.
Because you're brothers.
Yeah, it's like, fuck you.
Fuck my brother.
I'm eating all the tricks.
My brother.
I don't care that mom said I'm supposed to save you some tricks. I'm eating it. Fuck you. What are you going to do about it? And then you fist fight.
Yeah, we legally have to be friends.
Yeah.
This isn't going to ruin it, but it could, I guess.
So I guess what I would say is, you're so certain that this guy has a crush on you, right?
Yeah.
She says, I know it's mutual. I would just, if he pursues you, I think you're just totally in the clear. And if he pursues you, I think you say something like, hey, I like you. I'd like to go out. I went on a couple dates with your brother. It didn't end anywhere. We're friends now. Do you think, you know, is that cool with you? Do you think he's cool? You know, do you mind talking to him? Like,
yeah.
If you wanted, if I were in your situation, I would, you know, if he pursues you, which this is what you like about him, it's that he's not like his timid brother.
Yeah.
So if he actually asks you out, I think that's how you play this. Is like, he asks you out, then you're right about him having a crush on you, right? You can still be flirty with him, but like, I would say just don't. If you don't pursue him and he's like, hey, want to go out? Be like, yes, I'd like that. Just so you know, I went on a couple of dates with your brother. Are you cool with that? Like, or, you know, do you want to talk to him? Or I don't know.
I don't know if she even needs to do that, honestly. Like, I don't know.
I'm not saying just to talk to the guy she went on some dates with, but I would you wouldn't bring it up?
With the guy that you're
because again, they didn't do shit. You know, he held her fucking hand.
Wouldn't you want to know? Like, wouldn't you want like?
You just want to know how that.
You think the guy doesn't know that his brother?
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Truly, maybe not.
Yeah.
And it's like I just don't know if his brother, the hot guy, the cool guy, if his dorky.
They're probably both fucking dorks, by the way. They're probably both
in
fucking
a volleyball league.
Yeah.
He's touching her leg by accident.
Yeah.
He's
the
like,
guy's a gay guy. He's
He's
so
like,
wrong.
I do kickball on Thursdays,
Yeah.
but volleyball's pretty fun on Tuesdays.
I don't know. I mean, maybe they've already talked about it, you know.
True.
And that's something not in like this devious way, but like,
You know what? Keep it twisted. Fuck the guy.
Keep it twisted.
What are we talking about here? It's time to keep it twisted. Get some head. Who cares? Fuck these losers on your volleyball team. Let's keep it twisted and let's
Keep
go.
it twisted.
Play the theme. Play us out with a theme song, Elders. Keep it twisted, baby. So thanks for calling in. You know, if you want to wait to let him to pursue you, wait. But if
Keep
not,
it twisted.
just keep it twisted. Keep it twisted and go out with this guy and suck him off after volleyball.
also how big is the brother's hand that you held? Because
True.
that indicates.
Maybe his cock is big too. And that's the Keep It Twisted Tea segment of the day question on the Twisted Tea hotline. Again, like we said, we are working on the name of the segment. But thank you, our friends at Twisted Tea, for sponsoring us.
Keep it twisted.
And remember to keep it twisted. All right, that was the Keep It Twisted Tea hotline moment of the day. Question of the episode. What else we got, Elders? You a Twisted Tea guy?
I don't think I've ever had it.
They're good, man. We'll give you one on the way out.
Okay, great.
Stavvy. Hey, man, I got a question for you that I think you're the right person to be answering.
Great.
So I've had 3 girlfriends in my adult life, and all 3 of these girlfriends have had best friends who didn't like me. It's been very noticeable.
That's
every
awesome.
time. One of these best friends tried to get my girlfriend to cheat on me.
Whoa.
Another one of these best friends ended up having a romantic crush on my girlfriend.
Whoa.
And also tried to get her to cheat on me, but with her.
Whoa.
And yeah, it seems like I have a track record for girlfriends, best friends, just really disliking me. And I don't know if this is a me thing or if this is actually just a common pattern that most dudes would have in common with me. I just really don't know. I think I'm a pretty, nice, agreeable guy. I never, creep on any of them or anything like that. I don't know. I guess I could do a better job at trying to get to know them. I don't know. I just think this is the right time to be asking this question because I'm starting to get ready to get back out there in the dating pool and maybe find another woman. And when I do, I want to maybe be able to have a better relationship with their best friend if they've got one. So I'm hoping you can help me out. Thanks.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
3 for 3 best friends don't like him.
And he's wondering, is it me?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I'm wondering if it's the girlfriend. I'm raising my antennas. What's up with this friend of hers who's in love with her? And she's trying to get this girl to cheat on the guy with her. There's some
A little early for Elders' red pill corner. Let us work out the question. Let us work out the question a little bit, and then you come in. Usually that's how it works, Elders. But we'll keep it in mind. We'll come back to you and we'll think about that. I do. Well, first of all, has this ever happened to you? Have you ever been in this situation?
I'm trying to remember. I don't think I knew if a girlfriend's best friend didn't like me. I never knew about it.
Yeah.
And it was never brought to my attention.
Right. I do think this is fairly common.
Probably.
I mean, I have certainly been in this situation. But that was my fault. They were right to dislike me. I've been in a relationship that kind of started messy, and then like we broke up. We were on again, off again, and like you work up so much bad will. All they hear is all these stories about, you know, you being a piece of shit, that by the time you're in an actual good relationship, you're toast. You know what I mean? That's happened to me. I've also had best friends that really like me, almost too much, where they're like, you guys should get, when it's not that serious, and they're like, you guys should get married, weirdly. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and then I've just had people who are like, you know, I've gotten along fine with them, right?
Yeah.
So I think some of this might just be small sample size. 3 girlfriends, 3 weird situations. You just never know, right?
I wonder, like, why they hate him. Because that's some information that I think you should be able to ask.
For example, I know why they hated me, right? Like, I was a dickhead to the girl I was dating.
Sure.
And then, like, they were correct friends in just being mad at me for the beginning of our relationship, right? Like, I know that. But if this guy didn't do anything wrong...
Which he doesn't think he did.
Doesn't think he did. And he does have kind of a... Not that you can tell much from a guy's voice, but like he seems nice compared to the other 2 guys that seemed the guy talking about lying to the single mother sounded like a fucking idiot.
Right.
Even the guy who's the stalking guy, even though there's some off just from his voice, I was like, something's a little off here.
I mean, this guy's saying I'm a nice, agreeable guy. Like, that word in itself.
Maybe he's too much of a pussy for them. Maybe it's the other side where he's not a dickhead. He's just kind of like, and also maybe they just don't. You know, is he ugly? Are they just like, they just don't approve of who they're dating? You know, like, it's a possibility, right? Even though I feel like women are much less I don't know. I don't know about that. Much less shallow in terms of who their friends are dating. I think they're less shallow about who they're dating, but maybe, you know, I don't know. I feel like I don't give a fuck.
I can see the loser thing a little. They're like, what are you doing with this guy? He's just, you know.
Now, let's shift back over to Elvis's red pill corner and put the blame on the woman here.
Yeah.
Is there patterns in who he's dating, though, for real? Like, this is kind of where there might be a little the middle of the Venn diagram between our vantage points, where it's like we tend to date people in patterns. We tend to date people with similar, you know, psychological makeups, I would say. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think people just, without even understanding that, typically go back to the same well or share some kind of thing. Do you attract women that have weird codependent relationships with other people for some reason?
Sure.
I'm just throwing possible things out there.
I think I did that too, because I have, you know, anxiety and fear of being cheated on. But I think I would date types of people who would cheat.
Interesting.
And then I don't even think that they wanted to or that they would, but I'm looking at, they're being flirty, or there's something about how they're interacting with other guys that would make me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know why I keep doing this, like putting myself
Yeah. And
I definitely continued to do that for a long time.
No, we all do that same shit. I mean, it was a problem for me where I was very insecure in like my 20s, and so I dated people that were like clingy at first, which I liked because it was like, there's no insecurity. I know they like me. They're making it so obvious. And then as soon as I was secure in the relationship, I was like, this is fucking annoying. Get off my dick. You know what I mean? Like, kind of shit where it was like, sometimes you doom yourself.
You went the opposite direction as me.
Yes.
Which is very interesting.
Yeah.
You know?
But we all do this sort of thing. So is there, again, we don't know shit. We don't really know you. We don't know these girls. But is there something to that you are attracted to people in these other strong relationships for whatever reason? Like, some people don't even have a friend this domineering in their life. You know what I mean? Like, some people don't have that number one best friend, you know, which these women seem to have. So I don't know, dude. I mean, we don't have enough information to go off of this.
I mean, yeah.
What did they hate about you is is a great follow up.
That's like seems like the only question.
Yeah.
Because you have to assume with the person you're dating that their best friend knows any shitty thing you're doing.
Right.
Anything that is annoying.
I will say, from the limited information we've had, two of them tried to get these women to cheat.
Right. That's what's different.
So they don't respect him.
Right.
You know what I mean? They want her out of this relationship. It sounds like they feel like she could do better thing.
Yeah.
One of them is with any other guy. The other one is with her. You know what I mean? So it's like, is there something there to explore? Like, you enter into a relationship with somebody who already has a pretty serious relationship, even though it's not romantic. Although in one case, it kind of sounds like it's blurring the lines of one person is in love with the other person, you know? So
yeah.
Could it be, again, just guessing here, just spitballing, like, there's less pressure when someone has a support system in their life for you to be like, you know what I mean? Like, if someone has serious relationships, you being a boyfriend your role is not as important to someone who has no friends in their whole life. You know, are you the kind of person who feels smothered easily, so you can't be with someone who doesn't have really close friends that she spends time with? You know what I mean? I'm just guessing here, but her friend trying to fuck her sounds cool. You seem like kind of a piece of shit for not being able to you stop two hot chicks from fucking sucking each other's tits, and for that I'm against you.
Yeah, you should have wanted that. That would have been good.
Give me some of the other alternates.
Holy fuck, that was twisted. Holy shit, bitch, that was twisted. That's more twisted than my nuts. Twist that up like my dick in your ass, and it's twisted.
Yeah, we didn't want to play those during the official segment, but twist that up like my dick in your ass, and it's twisted. Yeah, dude, I don't know.
It's a tough one, actually.
It's a tough one.
Yeah.
I would try, again, why do they feel this way about you? Mm-hmm. Are you doing anything to deserve this? If not, what's the pathological reason you keep dating women who have this relationship in their lives? Right. You know, examine that a little bit. Is there more? Do you want to delve into it at all, red pill wise?
I don't think so. I think you hit it. I think it probably is just like a pattern thing. If you notice it with like 3 girls, it's like, yeah. If you can't look at yourself and be like, why do they hate me? You just have no idea whatsoever. I don't know. I would look at, well, what's the similarity between these bitches?
Yeah, because a lot of the times when you fucking tug at that thread, you just do see some like clear psychological shit. Yeah, you see some clear shit that leads back to like, as hack as it is, your fucking childhood and your parents and all that kind of shit. It's
so crazy because when you're in it, when you're doing it,
yeah, like
every time I'd get out of a relationship and be like, I'm never doing that again.
Yeah.
And just do it.
And then a couple months go by and that familiar feeling,
the
like,
sad loneliness.
And then you hit it off with, because at first, the people you find yourself in these patterns with, it feels so good at first.
Of course.
At first you're like, whoa, something special is happening. And it's like, no, it's just you're just hitting the same like parts of your brain.
Yeah. And I'm also like, maybe in my mind, I'm like, I'm confident now. Because that's another thing you feel when you're single.
Yes.
And you're not in a relationship. You're like, I think I figured out what I did wrong.
Right.
I'll be good this time.
Right.
I won't fall for the same traps in my own head.
Right.
And then you just do it.
Yeah. And then it's fucking 2 a.m. in your hotel room and you eat every piece of candy in the mini bar. Even though you were strict about your diet all day. Yeah. As an example. Dude, I literally I was in a hotel this weekend and you can pay. This is how dastardly it is. They make you pay to take the mini bar out. I was like, hey, I don't want candy in my room. I can't have this.
Really?
And they're like, for $9, we'll take it out. And I'm like, what?
For the price of a candy bar.
And I was like, all right. I had to pay them to not have candy in my room.
That's crazy.
It's fucking insane. And then I was like, hey, can you take all this bullshit out of the mini fridge so I can put like yogurt and fruits and shit in there?
Yeah.
And they're like, that'll cost you $25. So I had to pay fucking, and it was like $25 a day. It was crazy.
Did you do it?
Wow.
I did it, yeah. Just because I was like, because that is my killer on the road. I'm trying to survive this next tour, man. The last one fucking nearly killed me, legitimately. So I cannot have that again. So I'm just trying to like work my way up on the road to like, and I did pretty good actually, health habit wise. This
To me, I'm like calling the front desk. I'm like, you gotta fill the room with pork.
dude, we can get you
After this
we can get you a delicious porkito while you're here, dude. All right, LD, you got something nice and fun for us? Something to go out on here, pal?
Yeah. I got one. Someone's coming for you a little. Let's see what you
Coming
got to
for
say.
me. Interesting.
Hey, Stavvy. I'm in the car, and we're listening to episode 82, and you're giving some really good advice to this girl whose sister's boyfriend keeps flirting with her. And I listen to the podcast pretty often, and I was just thinking about how I always agree with your takes, and I think the advice you give is really good. And I've just started to become increasingly suspicious that this is all a ploy, and you're giving advice to get pussy. And for all the women listening to agree with you, and my question, I guess, is your advice really what you think? Is this your true belief?
Or are you keeping it twisted?
Or are you just trying to get the women of the world on your side?
Keep
Okay,
it
thanks.
twisted.
Are you accusing me of keeping it twisted? 24/7, 365, baby girl?
Are you explaining why I have the sponsorship I do? Are you explaining what pays for this apartment?
Start a podcast to get pussy. That's keeping it twisted.
Do you remember what advice you gave?
I don't really. I remember this call, but I don't remember it off the top of my head. But hey, what can I say, babe? That's just who I am. I can't help it. That would be such an annoying ploy to get pussy is doing a pod. I mean, I guess in some ways doing a podcast and doing comedy. Really,
She's kind of accusing you of being a little woke. Woke for pussy.
which is not. I mean, I am a single issue voter in that. How much will this make it easier for me to get pussy? That's why I'm so pro abortion rights. Is that it's like that is unfortunately that is the lens through which I see the world. But I do think that my advice does come from the heart. But it's good to know that it's working. It's good to know that you're more likely to fuck me now than you were before you listened to the podcast. To our
I
caller.
guess I can speak to this a little bit. That outside of this room, you're not walking around going, "I'm about to say a bunch of bullshit."
Yeah. Outside of the room, what if I am just totally different? I'm like, I'm just so conservative. But no, I exist in a very, it's a bit of a hedonistic little zone. It feels interesting because I do feel like people on the left have gotten almost too tattletale-y. Like the only identifying thing of like people don't even think of it as like hippie shit is not really what people think of anymore when it comes to like being liberal or something. It's like getting you in trouble for saying something bad is what people think of now when it comes to like what it means to be like the left in America. And I think I kind of exist in a zone of like not conservative but not a tattletale either. And getting pussy. And that's what it's all about. Wouldn't you say so?
I agree.
Don't tattle. Don't be fucking rude to people and try and get sucked off as much as possible. And suck titties off as much as possible. But thank you. It's good to know the ploy is working. After this, we're gonna fire up some info wars. After this, I have to go phone bank for Donald Trump.
It is funny what you're saying about hippies. Like hippies were the left, but now every hippie would be considered a piece of shit.
Yeah.
They were all just doing whatever the fuck they wanted to get pussy.
It's exactly
like
a fun, cool life. Having a good ass time is really is actually my actual like that's my North Star. Is like, how can we have things be fun as shit? And
Yeah.
you gotta admit, like, hippies were just trying to have a good time. And it's interesting to think about them in, almost in like what they came out of. Like historically, it makes sense that they would come out of like the repressive ass 50s.
Yeah.
And then it was like, fuck, we don't have to do any of this bullshit.
Yeah.
Fuck your stupid little suit and tie. We're gonna go get pussy. You know, we're gonna go smoke drugs in a field and like,
Yeah.
you know, look at tits. That's fucking cool. But yeah, we have gotten to a point where, I don't know, man. People just associate, and then obviously the fairness aspect of like, you shouldn't treat anybody bad. Like you should just like, hey, we have all this money. Why don't we give some to fucking poor people in this country? Like, not even getting to any of that, but it's like, I don't know. The left being for censorship is weird. Like saying shit you can't. Not that the right is any better. I love that idea that the right is for freedom of speech.
That you have
it's
to,
like,
the idea that you have
no,
to
it's
pick
not.
one is crazy.
Yeah. It's like, hey, how about both things that we're being presented with actually are fucking, you know, like Kamala Harris is a fuck. Anyway, we don't have to get into this. I don't know how we got here from this question.
But there is a version of hippie that is objectionably bad.
Yes, that is true.
Like a guy who's got a family and then he listens to the Grateful Dead and he's like, I'm fucking out of here.
Yeah.
That kind of
the
thing.
complete rejection of any responsibility.
Yeah.
Deep into your like 40s and 50s. That's pathetic.
For sure.
Pathetic for sure. But hey, we're still in our 30s. I got a couple more years of this kind of lifestyle. Anyway, thank you for listening. It is not a ploy, but hey, if it's working, you know what I mean? I'm going on tour next year. Gals, hit the DMs. And Ahamed, thanks for coming, brother.
Thanks for having me.
This was so fun.
This was great.
A great episode. Bring your next week. We're gonna have Ahmed's grandfather on
To talk about the prop industry.
I would love talking about props. I would love talking about becoming a Buddhist in Maine and shit like that. He sounds awesome.
He's great.
And yeah, we will talk to you guys next time. Bye bye.
Bye.